Okay. Set. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for waiting. Thank you, Bettina, and good morning. Was it already lunchtime close? But anyway, you need a mic?
Maybe just because we're recording.
Thank you. Give me a second. But this is for the room, not for the recording. Anyway, I need to check how I look. Do I look okay? This way. Okay. I don't need a mic? I'm fine?
Yes.
Good. Okay, so thank you for joining. Today I would like to talk about our joint research project exploring anti-Koreanism in the late Tokugawa period, the objectives we aim to achieve using the Japan Biographical Database, and some of the challenges we are currently facing. So my presentation would not include a lot of results, it's more about challenges for the moment, but anyway. Okay, so anti-Koreanism is simply put the love and study of old artifacts. In the late 18th and early 19th centuries, there was a huge boom in empirical research, kosho, especially on the past, and anti-Koreanism, koko, among Japanese intellectuals from diverse social classes. This vogue in evidence-based scholarship in anti-Koreanism has recently attracted the attention of many researchers. For example, here are some recent publications on the topic in Japanese, which range from the discovery of the new capital's history, Edo history, through anti-Korean exploration, to the development of evidence-based scholarship that laid the foundation of modern humanities, and how such trend evolved with the rise of modern media. Early modern anti-Koreanism is not a phenomenon unique to Japan. There have been major publications on European and Chinese anti-Koreanism, as well as some attempts to carry out comparative research. These studies also explore the passion for artifacts, antiquities, exotics, or curiosities as the seeds of modern humanistic studies, as well as manifestation of contemporary mentalities. Reflecting the increasing interest in anti-Koreanism and its close tie to objects in museums, there have also been quite a few numbers of exhibitions on the topic in recent years. There are also some going right now. If you're in Tokyo, only the one to the right is currently held, but yeah, these are the exhibitions held this year. I'm not related, but just to show how anti-Koreanism is kind of hot now. Okay, so of course, anti-Koreanism is about collecting and studying old and curious objects and books, but such activity inevitably requires human networks. Not only did anti-Koreans need networks to collect and learn about books and objects, they also gathered together to show their positions to each other and exchange knowledge and ideas. In this sense, they form an invisible college, and also the postal and commercial networks of the early modern period facilitated active correspondence, while the sophisticated publication industry of the later Tokugawa period accelerated the exchange of knowledge, encouraging people to strengthen their network further. Therefore, the study of anti-Koreanism inherently involved network study. So since around 2020, I have been working in a team to explore some aspects of this anti-Korean boom. We have been supported by several grants, including those from the Institute of Comparative Culture, thank you very much, and also JSPS. So the project title is very, very long, but as you can see in the title, we are trying to have interdisciplinary and international collaboration. So this is a photograph of the panel in Daegu last year. And yes, so network of our team. So actually a few of us are working on major figures of anti-Koreans, like Matsudaira Sadanobu, or yeah, those people are not really this sort of our direct target. And we have been focusing on the overlap with various scholarly investigations into subjects such as exotic objects, animals and plants, or classical customs and manners, or more contemporary objects. I myself, actually, I study older history, so have been interested in this scholarly trend to understand how classical cultures, in particular court customs and court attire, have been studied by the Edo scholars and how that is still continue to influence our understanding of the Heian culture. We have also addressed issues of exoticism or gender within anti-Korean activities. So in this way, we ourselves have been developing the network. And as you can see, Bettina is a hub. So naturally, we have the idea of using JBDB. And hopefully, we can expand the database somehow. By the way, we have been working, so now the network is more connected. So this is more like what we have now. So I assume it is quite obvious that JBDB would highly benefit our project, especially in visualizing anti-Koreans in visible college. We also hope we can somehow visualize the overlap with other networks, like my cases like Kojitsu network or Honzo-gaku, Rangaku, all these Kokugaku networks, how they sort of overlap with anti-Koreans network would be something in the future would be nice to be visualized. Yes, but we are still at a very early stage of inputting data and developing the database. Mostly, well, I'm not having enough time myself, so lack of time, financial, human resources. But I'm still sort of thinking how we can do this, but there are some issues we are already facing, so I just want to share them today, and hopefully we can get some useful feedback. Actually, I'm already getting very nice ideas from previous 3 wonderful presentations, and I'm hoping to learn more from the discussion and later presentations. So the biggest challenge I have met is, well, partly because I am probably a medievalist and not so familiar with Edo studies, but who are anti-Koreans? Who am I starting with? So I mean, as I've tried to look up who are anti-Koreans in dictionaries, and it's not something I can easily find. So this is something I'm having a little problem. How am I going to identify anti-Koreans? This is also to do with the kind of stigma that anti-Koreans have had in the 20th century scholarship. Historians didn't like to be called anti-Koreans in the 20th century. So now we are trying to sort of bring some due respect to them, but yeah, so it's not something that, I mean, there's also the word kozuka. It could be more derogatory in a sense than kokoka, I guess. And dictionaries don't list people as kozuka or kokoka. So that is a little problem. So, and then there are also some sort of big names and anti-Korean network. So as I said, we ourselves haven't really working on those big figures. But as for the database, I'm thinking maybe it's a good idea to start from those big figures. So currently have 2 things working on. One is the Kenkado Nikki. We just started with ZD. ZD is helping us. So so this is just starting. So not enough data to show yet. But Kenkado, as I think many of you are aware of the name, but he is like a kind of hub of the 18th century Kamigata literary network, and he has this diary, which is a kind of de facto directory of literati of the time. So yes, if we can somehow put the data in, but also there are problems with Kenkado Nikki. The description is very, very simple, so it's not really clear what kind of exchange took place. So yeah, but anyway, just putting in the names and connections would be probably a good place to start. Another thing trying right now is Tanki Mandoku, which is a catalog of objects presented at 20 meetings held in Edo in 1824 to 1825. So the number of members is not big, but many of them are important figures. And as we know some of the details of the meeting with what kind of objects were exchanged, and also some discussion going on behind. And also there's this Toenkai sort of ongoing at the same time. So maybe it's a good case to closely investigate. Now I try to visualize, and because of the network of Dai, everybody's kind of connected to the line network in this visualization. But you can see some figures. Here's Yashiro Hirokata, Tani Buncho is working as a hub, and Yamazaki Yoshishige is the person who started Tankikai. and he can be also a hub of further network, I'm hoping. Yes, so, and also Seki Shido is also quite important in relation to Dai network. So yes, this is something just starting. And I think the Tankikai is mostly, the data is not that much, so I think I input it. But the Kenkadoniki is a long way to go. But maybe I'm just thinking there should be some kind of adjustment to the labels and system a little bit. So I'm hoping we can discuss that with the engineers. But for example, here you already have some labels of occupation like scholar, writer. Oh, sorry. What happened? Scholar, writers, and such. Also, many of them are still unknown. But yes, how can I have another label like antiquarian on top of this? How can person can have multiple labels or more detailed labels? Earlier, I guess there was some discussion like scholar of what? Scholar of Honzogaku, scholar of Dangaku, scholar of Kokugaku. If the label can be sort of subcategorized, that might be a good way to develop the study of antiquarianism. And also, I'm not quite sure, maybe I'm not understanding very well yet the system, but somehow if we can have like different networks overlapping, like the Honzo network, Dangaku network, not everything connected in the same dimension, if there will be a way to somehow, it's just like idea, but visualize network, layers of network, that would be really wonderful, I think. And another challenge I'm facing is like the cost of input. So I just tried to record what I was doing, like to input one meeting, and it took like 2 minutes. But so I have lots of pull downs and also lots of redundancy with the previous meeting, which I wish I could just copy. So maybe I'm not doing the right way. So today I'm hoping to learn what is the right way to do this, but also if there are ways that I can copy like existing data of meeting and just reuse, change some of the names, or especially like the pull down of date, and always pulling down 1824 again and again. So that sort of things I wish if could be simplified. I can ask students, other people to do more, or I can use less time with each entry. So that would probably something I hope to see improvement. It's a great system, but I think the input, I don't know, WYSIWYG input is maybe not be the best way for the moment so maybe I'm not doing the right way. So I'm hoping to get some feedback on that aspect as well. Yes. So so this is the dragging part, and that takes a lot of time from my So anyway, I guess you got the idea. So okay, and as I said a little bit, I myself is actually not a scholar of early modern period. I'm doing medieval, or especially like Heian and Kamakura court culture, and there are also lots of interesting networks there. So now JBDB is really strong in early modern Meiji, but might be nice to see. I don't know. To see more in the medieval period too. Here, like the network of wet nurses and Zuryo and all the literate writers and poets, how they're all overlapping. This is just what I show in class. It's very, very simple part of a diagram, but something like this could be maybe more sophisticatedly visualized using JBDB or some other, sorry, that's my time, database. So that, maybe that would be great to see. And I also have like GetCom data, like lineage data I already have. So if there are ways to just import them, that would be great. But so those are things I'm looking forward to discuss with the engineers as well. But anyway, thank you very much, Bettina, for starting and sharing the database with us, and letting us take part, and also all the engineers and staff and all the support from all the institutions. So thank you very much, and there's a lot to look forward to. So I'm looking forward to learning more today's and later discussions. Thank you very much.